All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just picked up this transfer case replacement for my 2000 XJ. It came out of some sort of YJ or something like that. It's almost exactly the same. It might be clocked a little different, but I have a transfer case drop on there, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, I also picked up this brand new shift linkages, and we're gonna be hooking it up and then swapping out the transfer case on my XJ. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna do this while it's out of there and make it easy because I don't want to be reaching up in there with it under the Jeep and trying to reach into this little tiny crack to get over this yoke. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, let's see how it goes. This one's a lot nicer. Shifts through all the gears, and it is not broken. Does not grind when I try and drive away in the snow. My Jeep's still running and driving, but this will let do burnouts, all that kind of stuff once again, and let it actually go off road without grinding and making all the noises. Hopefully, see how it goes. All right, I was able to get that Jimmy a little loose and start cranking away at it. It's coming off not too bad. But look at that. Starting to slowly come off with this 14mm wrench. It's a 14mm bolt. Let me get it off and show you. All right, I was able to take the bolt off and start prying this little plate off. Looks like it has a washer on there. It has that slot. The slot's important. Lets it turn under leverage. And look at that fancy thing. Came right off. Let's see if we can turn it back to the correct position before I fully get rid of this thing. I think that's two-wheel drive. Nope, that's still four-wheel drive. Get the yoke out of the way. Give it one more. Two-wheel drive. Let's go. Take that off. Take this. And start to get it on. Pretty sure it goes like that or something. Might go the other way. Not exactly sure. But for now, it looks pretty good. Looks a lot fancier than the owl thing. Let's keep going. All right, it's time to start the swap on this thing. And got the Jeep all set up. Got my whole setup under here because the ground's soaked. But it's gonna be, I think, an 8mm wrench to remove all the drive shafts. Front and rear. I think it should just slide off on the rear, and the front should just be all right. We'll see though. I'm not really sure how this is all gonna work. Right under here is the transfer case. It's kind of shot. It's very leaky. It's leaking there, and there's drops everywhere on the bottom of this. But we have a whole swap for it, so we're not too worried about that. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this jack up the transmission over there, like that, and then take this whole cross member off, lower it down a little bit, and then take this bracket off. I just put a new bracket on there the other day. Wish I did this whole thing at the same time, but I'm gonna have to take this bracket off again, and the bolts for this transfer case are right up in there. I don't know if you can really see them, but it's right all the way up in there. I'm gonna have to take those off. I think there's 5 or 6 in there, and let's hope it's not too bad of a process. Shouldn't be too bad, but let's just get started. I'm gonna have to take off this drive shaft right here. The 4 bolts around. 1 there, 2, and 3, 4 on the other side. And then I'm gonna have to take this drive shaft off right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully this should just all slide off on this slip yoke right here. Take off this boot and slide it all off and just put this yoke right back on the new transfer case. Hopefully. I'm hoping that's how it works, but we'll see. Shouldn't be too bad of a process. And then the plugs up there, 1, 2. And yeah, hopefully then an oil line somewhere. Not sure exactly where. I'll figure that out. But all right, let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a comparison. Ready? Listen to this. Look, you hear how grindy that is? Yeah, it's not supposed to sound like that. That might be our problem, right? Well, let's hear the other one spin around a little bit. Here is the new one. See how smooth that is versus that. Yeah, that's not good. This one's good. So cool. All right, well, now that I've given a little comparison, which that's not supposed to sound like that, but you know, all right, I'm gonna start taking off this rear yoke. Hopefully, no, not the entire rear yoke, but I'm just gonna take off the U-joint from the yoke. Dang, I really tightened those on there. Sorry, I'm flipping the camera around a little bit much, but here's for this. All you're gonna have to do, these should just be kind of hand-ish tight. You can just kind of loose them with a little tiny ratchet like this, and they should come out real nice. I've had to replace these at least 4 times, so I'm somewhat of a professional of this. That may be the reason why I've broken this transfer case. You know, did not want to keep breaking yokes, you know. All right, I'm going to take the rest of this off and try and take this drive shaft completely off. Maybe I have to remove that boot, but I'm going to see if I can just slide the whole thing out. All right, I was able to get these 4 off. Let's see if I can get off. Make sure you always chalk up your tires. Probably should use more of a bigger chalk, but let's see if I can kind of start getting this thing free. All right. Yeah, one heck of a slip yoke. It's not even slipping. All right, I might have to jack up these rear tires, this rear end, and kind of lift it up so it can take the pressure off of it. Let's do that. Try and get it off, and I'll bring it back once it's off. All right. I was able to get this off. Came off pretty easy. Just had to take this clip off. A little bit of a pain, but nothing too bad. Just had to get it off of this little thing right here. Not too bad at all. This one was a little bit more of a pain. I'm going to wait until it's out of the car to do that one. But now, I have to get these 4 off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, I might try and take off the front drive shaft first and take that off so I don't have to deal with that later. And then start jacking everything up and get it all ready. And then hopefully take just these 4 or these several out, and yeah, it should be all right. Alrighty, got the front drive shaft fully off, got all detached from the yoke on both sides. It's a little leaky over there, but nothing I'm really too worried about at the moment. Right now we're focusing on transfer case over here, which these Jeep XJ transfer cases are set up so goofy. Who designed this with the link going all the way down that way and all the way up that way and then all the way up around that way and up there? It's a straight line. Like, seriously? So I'm going to have to take that off, and look at that rusty, crusty piece of work right there. That's going to be a pain to get off, but hopefully I can just bolt it in right there, and I don't have to worry too much about it, but we'll see. All right, got the whole transmission mount and cross member off and everything like that, and now it's going to be some time for some straight manual wrench work. Got this one right here. That's the one available one, and that's still a pain in the butt. All the other ones are going to be even more pains. I don't even know how I'm going to get this one in here. I think there's one in there. Yeah, it's going to be a pain. Yeah, it's all the way back here. I can barely feel it all the way around. Oof. This is going to be a heck of a job. Wish me luck. Let's get started. Alrighty, got this piece of garbage loose and all the bolts off. I think I just took off one of the studs on the other side, but this took way too long because all these bolts were in the most awful positions of all time. But it's loose, so I'm gonna pull it off, put it in the garage, and start prepping the other one to go on. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the next day, and last night we were able to get the transfer case out of the Jeep, and dang, that thing is dirty. We got the new one here. It's looking pretty clean, pretty nice. Got a few battle wounds and stuff like that from taking that thing out, but it's pretty sweet, and I think it should just work. Hopefully. It looks about right-ish. A few little differences, that there and that there. They're not exactly the same. It looks to be somewhat the same pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 6 were around there. That seems alright. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. But now I'm gonna have to take this, basically bench press it up, and put it in there. I should probably take off the shift linkages first, and I have to figure out what's wrong with these plugs, because they are not exactly the same. This plug is a little bit different than this plug, and I don't know if that's too important to have. I don't really care if I have a speedometer, but whatever that is might be a little bit more important. Could be some sort of temp gauge. Could leave on the check engine light, which I already have it on, so wouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's start figuring it out. All right, before I put this back on, I have to take this bolt off the stud. Decided to come on all one piece, so I have to take the little nut off. I'm gonna put it in the vise here, tighten it down, use this, and just try and wrench it off. See if this will work. Taking them off was a pain in the first place, but yeah, no, that just spins. Let me try and do it a little tighter. Use a little bit of heat this time, and bring it back when it's off. All right, I was able to get the other bolts off. It's all set. Use a little bit of heat, use a pipe wrench, all that kind of stuff. Just put this on here. I'm gonna use a zip tie, because these things suck. Of course, I'm gonna cut the end off here. Should be about the same balance. I mean, I don't think it's gonna really matter that much. If it starts making noises down the road, I'll take it off, put one of these back on there. But shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna cut this thing off, you know. Well, see how it goes. Start putting it right back under the Jeep. Whew. Well, I've just had the realization to actually check the numbers on these, because, you know, who would thought to do that before? And I realized this is an MP242, and this is an MP231. Hopefully, it should fit all right. I don't think I'll have any problems. And if I do, I have all-wheel drive at some point, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. Should be all right. Hope there's not too many problems. Should be a fairly simple swap, though. We'll see. Alrighty, I was able to get the full Z-Link connection out. Got this plate out. Yeah, it's time to get this puppy in there. Let's see if we can do it. I'm gonna have to bench it up with my muscles, you know. Use these puppies. Pick it up and try and bolt it on with it picked up above my head. Let's hope it doesn't crush me. Let's see. Wish me luck. Alrighty. Got the transfer case mounted up there. Looks like it's fitting all right. No problems yet. Got all 6 bolts all the way around. And I'm about to mount this bracket right back up. I just got it tightened up a little loose in there. Don't want to be spending all the time with a ratchet, so I'm just gonna give it the light little. There we go. That one's up all up there. That one's up there, mostly, but it's looking pretty good. Perfect. It's all mounted up there. Now it's time for me to get the 4 things on there with inside of this thing. And that part's a little bit of a pain, but shouldn't be too bad overall. Gotta use the new 4 spacer pucks right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last time I did this, I stripped out this bolt. So I put a little nub on there, and that kind of sticks into the spacer. It works all right. No problems yet. Yeah, time for the swap. Let's get it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is done. All the drive shafts are hooked right back up. Rear and front. The new transfer case is in. I don't know if you can see it there. It's all in. I might have to zip tie that slip yoke, but otherwise, everything else is good. Do not have the speedometer cable or the 4-wheel drive notification hooked up. It won't really work for this. The speedometer cable, maybe. I might be able to take the old hook up from here, the old linkages, but it's a whole different setup, so I'm not too really worried about that. I might be able to hook some stuff up, rig it all together, but not too much on my priority list, because I would like to see this drive first. And either way, the speedometer's already off because of the big tires, so you know, not too big of a deal. Otherwise, everything else should be good. I'm about to go give it a test ride, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Actually, I was able to get the speedometer cable all hooked up right before I went on my test drive. It's looking pretty good. Let's see if this works. Got the whole new linkages in here. It's all set up. I was giving the linkages another look before I went out and realized the cable was right here. I was able to hook the prongs up. So, yeah, let's take it for a little rip. Make sure all these extra cables are out of the way, and let's get it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give her a start up and see how it goes. Got my new starter in here, so it should be pretty quick. Well, that's not a good noise. What was that? Oh, shoot. It smells a little plasticky. Let's open the hood and see what happened. Alrighty, well, goes from one problem to the next. Found out the little problem, and I now have a little bit of a radiator leak. But it's right in there, that hose. Sometimes on one of the fans, that one right there likes to scratch, so that's gonna be a fun fix. Let's see if I can figure something out to fix that, because that's a pain in the butt. As soon as I get the transfer case fixed, it's one thing after another.